Welcome to the Health Inequality Quantifier. This tool implements methodologies to measure and monitor health inequalities, helping you identify unfair and avoidable gaps between population groups. Its purpose is to strengthen decision-making, support accountability, and guide the development of equity-centered policies. Before getting started, please select your preferred interface language. The tool is available in English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. Step 1. Upload your dataset. Start by uploading your file with the database. The tool includes sample datasets, which can be used to test how it works and to understand the different possible structures. The tool works with two data structures. The first option, and the recommended one, is the vertical structure. Each unit of analysis appears multiple times, once for each time period. The second option is the horizontal structure. Here, the unit of analysis appears only once, while the data for each period are shown in separate columns. Both formats are accepted, but the vertical structure is easier to configure and significantly reduces the likelihood of errors. Step 2. Type of information. Regardless of the data structure, the tool needs to know what kind of information it contains. Does it have a numerator and denominator, or only an aggregated indicator? Select the option that best matches your dataset. Remember, using a numerator and denominator always leads to more accurate calculations. Step 3. Variable assignment. This is one of the most important steps. In both vertical and horizontal formats, the tool automatically identifies variable names from your dataset. For a vertical dataset, simply select which variable corresponds to the time period, the unit of analysis, the health indicator, or, if applicable, the numerator and denominator when available. Finally, you must specify the social stratifier. In the vertical sample dataset, we have a numerator and a denominator. Therefore, the period variable is identified as year, the unit of analysis variable as state, the numerator variable as maternal death, the denominator variable as live births, and the equity stratifier variable as UBN, unmet basic needs. Step 4. Indicator type. Choose whether your indicator represents a rate or ratio, or a proportion. If it is a rate, specify the scale factor for the health indicator. For example, 100,000. If it is a proportion, indicate whether it is expressed between 0 and 1, or as a percentage. The system will convert it automatically. In our sample dataset, the maternal mortality ratio is calculated. Therefore, we will select rate/ratio. And for the health indicator scale factor, 100,000, since the indicator is expressed per 100,000 live births. Step 5. Stratifier polarity. Specify whether higher values of the social stratifier reflect better social conditions, or if higher values represent worse social conditions. In the dataset, the equity stratifier is unmet basic needs, which, when higher, indicate worse social conditions. That's why we select no, because more unmet basic needs do not imply better social conditions. Step 6. Advanced settings. These options allow you to filter the dataset, customize labels, and select specific metrics. You can also edit options to customize the calculation model for both simple and complex inequality measures. However, for most users, the default settings for simple and complex measures are sufficient. Remember that the following advanced settings are optional. In this tutorial, we will show how to use the filter and labeling sections. For the rest of the options, you can consult the documentation. To apply filtering, you must select the number of variables you want to use for the filter. Here, we'll select 1 and filter by the variable year. We will select the years 2010 and 2020. In the labeling option, we must correctly define the name of each label we want to edit. For this tutorial, we'll use abbreviations. The indicator label is maternal mortality ratio per 100,000 live births. The equity stratifier is unmet basic needs. The health event is maternal death. The time period label is year. And the unit of analysis label is state. The rest of the advanced settings will remain as default. Step 7. Processing. Once everything is ready, click Process. The tool will validate your data, prepare the structure, and automatically calculate all metrics, generating tables and visual results ready to download and use. Results interface. Once the data is processed, the tool organizes the results into 4 main sections: summary, descriptive, simple metrics, and complex metrics. 1. Summary. This section provides an overview of the results through 3 main elements. First, a summary chart, which integrates various classic visualizations of health inequality metrics. Second, a summary table, showing the values of the selected inequality metrics. And third, an automatic interpreter, which generates technical descriptions for all selected metrics. Each of these elements is accompanied by explanatory notes guiding the user on their relevance and how to interpret them correctly. All objects, both charts and tables, are interactive and can be downloaded independently. Important, by default, the summary section displays a maximum of 3 analysis periods to ensure that the tables and visualizations are presented clearly within the available space. However, the user may manually adjust this number. From this section, you can also download a Word file, which includes the charts, the key tables, and the generated interpretations, and download an Excel file with the complete processed dataset, including all the calculations performed by the tool for all available periods. To explore all the analysis details, it is recommended to continue with the following sections: descriptive, simple metrics, and complex metrics. 2. Descriptive. The descriptive module is divided into 2 subsections, one for the health indicator and one for the social stratifier. Each of these subsections presents 2 main types of visualization. First, a box plot, also known as box and whisker plot, showing the distribution of the indicator or the stratifier for each period. This chart allows you to analyze the evolution of dispersion, variability, and detect outliers. In addition, it includes the mean for each period, making trend analysis easier. Second, a bar chart, showing the values of the indicator or stratifier for each unit of analysis over time. Each bar includes a reference line corresponding to the mean of the period, allowing users to compare units and detect those that are systematically above or below the average. All charts are accompanied by corresponding data tables for both the health indicator and the social stratifier. 3. Simple metrics. This section presents classic visualizations of simple inequality metrics, including the gradient chart by social groups according to the selected grouping method, which by default is quartiles, and the equiplot chart, which allows comparison of indicator values between social groups, where the size of each circle represents the population size in each group. Unlike the summary module, this section displays all available periods, allowing for a more complete analysis. Below the charts, you will find a table with the values of all simple metrics for each period, and a block of automatic interpretations generated for each available period. 4. Complex metrics. This module is divided into 2 subsections. A. Regression-based metrics. This subsection presents the adjusted regression curves for each period, the values of complex inequality metrics calculated using regression models, and the automatic interpretations corresponding to each of these metrics. In addition, a model diagnostics table is included, allowing users to compare the performance of different regression models by period. B. Disproportionality metrics. This subsection includes the concentration curves by period, inequality metrics based on disproportionality, such as the relative concentration index, also known as the health concentration index, and, in the case of bounded health indicators, the corrected metrics, such as the Wagstaff index or the Erigers index. Finally, as in other sections, an interpretation guide generated for each period. Documentation. Finally, the tool includes a documentation section where the following are explained in detail: the parameter configuration options and the methodological foundations of each metric, with emphasis on statistical methods and usage recommendations.